Hello? Hold on. Trying to stream, that's what time, lad. That's where we were, trying to live stream. Then the bloody coaches decided to derail. Hang on. Right then. Is this finally gonna work? Just gotta set this up. Gotta put these back on the tracks, guys. Hold on. I hope so too, Pokemama. Right. Now let's get the train underway. Are you going to delay it? No, probably. Well, or postpone it to tomorrow if it keeps screwing up. My mum thinks our internet's gone really slow because people are sending each other Mother's Day photos and things, but that's no excuse. He's trying to help me sort out the technical difficulties at the moment. Spyro Kirby. He should be along soon, though. Hey, H and C squared. Yeah, it is Mother's Day for us Brits. Now the layout has decided to keep short-circuiting. It's not going very well at the moment. short-circuiting. Last. We'll just run the B12 alone for now. B12. Congratulations, day for 2 days. Nice, Pokemama. Oh, I forgot you were Australian. Sovereign Hill, nice. We'll go until, was going to go till 10:30, but due to the technical difficulties we had, we'll go till 10:45. That's a long train. Not as long as they were in real life. They would have been 8 or 9 coaches in real life. You're British, are you, time lap? Cool. Um, 4 months ago, actually. Time lapse, by November. It's the longest train? No, it's not. No, it trains per express, I see. I can see why. Well, I think I had 1.7, 1.7 or 1.8k at the time, Pokemama. Now I have 2.6k, which I'm very grateful for. Let's see if we can get more, though. It'll gradually increase further as time goes on. Oh no! What happened? Hang on a sec. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, now my parents are home, guys. Next week it's back to the usual one stream per week. On Fridays. Just let you all know that. In a couple Fridays' time, though, not next week, not next Friday, but the Friday after, so not next Friday, but the Friday after, I'm planning to do a Seconds from Disaster themed live stream. Hello, MLP fan, nice to see you. No, that was a year ago, Pokemon, but not a few months. That was a year ago. and you thought Spyrovember was 2 months ago when it was 4 months ago. No offense, Pokemama, but you have quite a bad perception of time. No offense. No. Bad perception. Just want something new? What's that? Fine, lad. Kiff. The hell is that? That's alright, Spyro. Hey, Martin. Oh, and Peppa Pig's back. Disney Channel show? Yeah, I've never heard of it. Still there, Pokemon? Or are you busy type? Oh, you are still there. Hang on. You guys don't want to see my smelly socks, do you? You want to see the trains, the model trains. Hornby. The age of model trains? Yes. I tested the layout earlier and it seems to work. Thought I heard it derail. Slow it down a tiny bit. Long Trains and Bob the Bomber. You said Bob the Bomber, not Bob the Builder. Pardon me, that was a huge burp. I do get very burpy when I have carbonated drinks. Pokemon are still there. Just push the rails together. There we go. And the rails are going to come apart here. Yeah, I did have a lot of time to test the layout today. It was a rocky start. It was a rocky martial nice. It was a rocky start. We seem to be going good now. Filming Tots TV tomorrow. Cool. Scale speed looks to be about 90 miles an hour right now. I reckon the B12s would have, which is the engine pulling this train at the moment, I reckon the B12s could have been capable of 90 miles an hour, as they were built around the same time as the Great Northern Railway C1s, which also had a top speed of 90. Voiced by Rob Rackshaw? Yeah, I agree. Mr. Bernard Bentley. Yeah, I agree, that voice would suit him. I have seen the video you're referring to, Time Lad. And it's decided to stop. Hold on, I'll sort that in a sec. Decided to stop. Come on. Just give it a bit of a helping hand. Push all the rails together. Oh, and it's left its train behind. That's better. Just needed a helping hand. Helping master hand, yes. Derailment. What happened? Disney sequels. I remember my sister liked to watch Mulan 2, but that's it. And I do remember the trailer for Hunchback of Notre Dame 2. Let's make sure rails under here are fine. Close encounters of the third kind. There we are. Still there, Pokemon? What now? Hang on. Better not keep derailing. James is here. Stop the motion models? That makes sense, James. Hi Nathan, nice to see you. Generic background railway series engine in the style of C. Reginald Derby? No, I haven't, but that video sounds interesting. You have to send me that. Generic background on the railway series. That does sound interesting. Yeah, welcome Nathan and James. There was a Little Mermaid 3? I knew of the others, but Little Mermaid 3? Seriously? No one putting coins on the ride to enlarge them? Enlarge them, I see. You mean flatten them? I haven't actually seen Bambi yet. I must though. I don't tend to watch the classic Disney films. I've seen some of them, but not all of them. I haven't even seen the original Snow White, if you can believe it. So I should. I ought to watch... I haven't even seen the original Pinocchio. I must watch it, though. Points of purchasing. I have seen Dumbo, though. The original. Prequel to the first film, I see. Okay, I think my Wi-Fi's fine now. Original Pinocchio a long time ago? No. Stromboli! Obviously I know what happens in each of the classic Disney films, though I haven't seen it. I have seen The Lion King and Hunchback of Notre Dame, though. Yes, I've seen some of the classic Disney films, but not all. And I think I've seen half of Aladdin, but not the other half. I've definitely seen Mulan, though. And I have seen Treasure Planet, because I own that on VHS. Scratch your bum. You scratch your bum at the farthest reaches of the galaxy. True, I'm a big fan. You scratch your bum at the farthest reaches of the galaxy. Hi Stan, nice to see you. You drove an engine today? Yeah, you told me in DMs. Passing the ammo electro aren't here yet. You drove a diesel today, didn't you, Stan? Tell the chat what you told me, Stan. You scratch your bum at the farthest reaches of the galaxy. That's the best place to scratch your bum. Armstrong Diesel. Is that the one you filmed wheel slipping in one of your videos, Stan? Is that the same one you filmed wheel slipping? Thought so. You actually got to drive an engine, well, good for you. I've technically driven 3 trains in my life. Full-size one. Well, I've driven 3, well, not full-size. None of the ones I've driven were standard gauge, but I have driven 3 rideable trains in my life before. Pirates of the Caribbean. It was stupid. First one I drove when I was 10, it was like a little miniature train driving thing where you insert a pound and push a lever to move back and forth. Then of course I had my driver experience on my Romney Highland Then of course I had my driver experience on the Romney Highland Dymchurch Railway. Yes, indeed, James. And then when I went to the Nene Valley Railway, oh shit. It's fainted again. When I went to the Nene Valley Railway, I drove their 5-inch gauge miniature train up and down. actual engine for actually moving people from A to B. 2 feet and up? No, Stan. Minimum 15-inch gauge still counts. Hi, trains, planes, and automobiles. I think I'm subscribed to you. Have you been here before, trains, planes, and automobiles? Because I recognise your name. Stan, 15-inch gauge still counts. The RH and DR moves from A to B. In any case, well, in my eyes, Stan, if it's rideable, if the train is rideable and it has a driver controlling it, then then it does count as driving a train, regardless of its size. But you can't argue that my driver experience with Dr. Sin counted. Goods train, yeah, that counts. Though I will definitely eventually do a driver experience on a standard gauge railway. Eventually. Actual real standard gauge engine is just different. I get that, Stan, which is why I eventually want to do a standard gauge driver experience. But I'm grateful enough to have driven Dr. Sin in my time, so it still counts. It's a right shoot hole. Oh, so you live near Swindon then, do you, trains, planes, automobiles? Maybe I will, A. Smith, so welcome. GWR Castle classes I peak? I couldn't agree more, James. The King classes are also peak. It's a shame Stan doesn't agree. It's a right shoot hole. Yeah, I may go to Swindon and Crickdale eventually. He's also peak. I see what you did there, trains, planes, automobiles. I see. Hogwarts Express, yeah. In fact, all GWR 460s are peak. As are all their 280s. No point me paying for experience anywhere because I volunteer at a railway. That makes sense, especially as you're planning on driving on the Tanfield Railway soon, Stan. Live action Milan selects it does. Might change my name. Why is that? Trains, planes, automobiles. Give me a sec. Okay. Well, yeah, Northeastern is one of the best regions of railways, but I still like the GWR. Stan got mod back. He did. Got to say be right back. All right. Nick Frost, Simon Pegg. Yes, I am. I have seen the whole Cornetto trilogy now. I have seen all 3 Cornetto films now. Worst Disney live-action film you've seen? Yes, I love all 3 too, James. Sorry, I mean, A. Smith. But as I said, I don't agree that GWR engines are boring. just from visiting the Didcot Railway Centre, if you visited the Didcot Railway Centre like I did back in February, you'd understand how unboring the GWR is. Boring is the last thing I describe the GWR as. It has such an interesting history, and the company itself was so far ahead of its time when it came to developing railway technologies that are now standard across the world today. Like, for example, the GWR was the first railway company to ever develop what we now know as the automatic warning system, better known as the AWS. GWR just isn't interesting. It is! How can you call a railway that was originally built to an entirely different gauge before having to be re-gauged later on, how can you call a railway with a history like that not interesting? And the construction of the original London to Bristol main line was just such an outstanding feat of engineering. Sawyer's Trains. Okay, so that's your new name, Sawyer's Trains, yeah. That's much less of a mouthful. Well then, Sawyer's Trains, that's nice. Broad gauge flopped. Princess Spire, nice. Much better condition than the majority of the tugs pop, that's fair. Seth Rogen was awesome voicing the China character, nice. The oldest surviving GWR engine? Yeah, of course you got the broad gauge replicas, but yeah, yeah. City of Truro is definitely the oldest surviving standard gauge GWR engine. They built the town next to my village. Yeah, Swindon was literally a railway town. So much more rich and complex history. I'd argue that railways all over this country have a rich and complex history. Broad gauge may have flopped, but that doesn't mean, just because broad gauge flopped, that doesn't mean it doesn't have an interesting history, because it does. It literally sparked the gauge wars. Make the whole economy good. Hey train guy, nice to see you. Ran steam until the very end. Well, so did the Northwest Stan. Hey train guy. That's such a great model. I agree. Series 1 to 4, nice. Yeah, I'd argue the railways across the entire country have a rich and complex history. Not just the Northeast. The Northwest also has a very complex history, with the likes of the Liverpool and Manchester Railway. Bias to GWR anyway? Oh! In that case, Sawyer, you and Stan would have some very fierce arguments. I still don't understand why Stan thinks the GWR is so boring. As I was about to say, they were literally so far ahead of their time. They pioneered an early version of the automatic warning system, where if a train passes a yellow signal and the driver doesn't acknowledge the warning, the brakes come on. Nowadays we have the AWS. And nowadays the vast majority of railways all over the world have similar safety systems to what the GWR pioneered. How is that not interesting? Got a dappled turbot yesterday? Nice. Doc will be paying Stan a visit? Exactly. How can you not find that stuff like that interesting? Don't even get me started on the GWR's construction and how grueling of a task it was. It's just not even nearly as cool as 9F and War Department austerities working through the countryside and towns of the northeast. Well, I guess, Stan. The 9Fs are absolutely cooler than any GWR engine, but Great Western engines are still, in my opinion, really cool. You saw a 166? Had a nameplate from a depot? Cool. The A1X Terriers, yeah, they were very successful too. London, Brighton and South Coast engines are great as well. I think the H2s, having ridden behind the new Beachy Head earlier in the year with Electro, I think the H2s are now my favourite London, Brighton and South Coast engines. Town Terriers are still around? Yeah. They were built at Swindon? Yeah, probably. They probably did, if some of them were built at Swindon. Yes, I have time, lad, but I've never really been into Doctor Who. I'd love to see Beachy Head. Oh, it's great, Train Guy. It's an awesome project. 25%, 20% actually. 50 of the Terriers were built. That were built and worked in Newcastle are better. Not necessarily, Stan. All the engines that were built at Doncaster and Crewe were awesome too. Evening Star Wars! Crewe on top? Yeah. Doncaster, Crewe, Swindon and Brighton were definitely the four most major railway works, especially during the Big Four era. Most of the LNER's engines were built at Doncaster. The LMS built most of their engines at Crewe. The Southern Railway built most of theirs at Brighton. Then, of course, the GWR built theirs at Swindon. Nice, but a bit boring. I agree, James, although Stan would not agree. Hour-long special? Yeah, maybe, I don't know, time, lads. Right, I'm going to switch engines at the moment. I'll give the B12 a few more laps, then switch engines. I might go to the GWR Museum in Swindon eventually. Though I am glad that I finally visited the Didcot Railway Centre back in, oh, derailment again. I am glad I finally visited the Didcot Railway Centre back in February. It was a great place. Still need to edit and upload my vlog from there. Oh, the couplings have got tangled. That's why it started to derail. Oh, shut this off. Hold on, guys. Rest up. We've still got one off the track. Right then, what's the chap been saying? Is Stan still there? I was at the railway centre though. Last time I went to Didcot, I was more focused on the East Junction traffic to and from the Great Western Main Line. What is going on with these coaches? Hell for the Wilmer's joke. Yeah, that was funny, wasn't it? Hi ho, hi ho. Wilmer penis. Oh, it's racing around now. It's gonna be real. I haven't played any of the Train Sim World games yet, so yeah. Call me ridiculous, I know. Call me crazy, but I've never played any of them. Where can I get? I don't know, MLP fan. Okay. One more lap and then it'll switch engines. You're going to Gloucester Station next week? Nice. I also really want to go to the Gloucestershire and Warwickshire Railway. You mentioning Gloucester is reminding me of that. You're not crazy, you're funny? Well, thanks, Time Lads. Can't run Tornado, because if you guys remember, Tornado's coupling broke last stream. Okay, we'll run a different engine, then we'll, then I think we'll run the 225. Does the, Does the N2 want to run today? No, is it still buggered? I think the motor on it is okay. I just think the electricity pickups aren't working. I just think the electricity pickups have stopped working. Starts and stops on different sections of track. I think it's some of the N2's electricity pickups have failed. They don't have legs. Prince 1 is have an Xbox One. You're not an MLP fan, I know, but we do have one here who is, and MLP fan 2004 is up there. Thomas DLC for Train Sim World 5. Wait, you can get Train Sim World on Xbox One? I thought it was only available for PC. In that case, if I can get it on Xbox One, I'll definitely get it. I just don't want to... Just installation processes on computers can be very complicated. That's why I don't usually bother. And plus, I just prefer to have physical discs for my games. Ah, you are still there, Stan. It's not that good? Well, it doesn't matter if it isn't for me, Stan. It would just be nice for me to play a train simulation game again. I've played Trains 2006 before, and Train Simulator 2013, 14, and 20. If you have Xbox Game Pass, it's free. Well, I don't know if Game Pass is installed on our Xbox. Yeah, well, but if it is available for Xbox, if Train Sim World is available for Xbox, then you know what? I might get it as well as the Thomas DLC. What some of the people have been doing with the Thomas DLC has been hilarious. Train Simulator. What does the C stand for, Sawyer? Travel on the tracks and Great Festival Adventure in the past. Oh, that reminds me. I said I was eventually going to do a live stream where I play the 3 Thomas PC games. Operate like they would IRL. Derail Valley is much better. Train Simulator Classic, but not graphically. I haven't played Derail Valley yet either. And I have owned Microsoft Train Simulator as well in the past, but I've never been able to install it. Let's get the Duchess going. I need to find a model shop to get all of my faulty trains repaired soon. I reckon I can repair the likes of Tornado myself, but I'll need a model shop to repair my N2 and my B17. So yeah, we'll do the Duchess now. Even though she can't run that fast. Pronouns. The pronouns. Yeah, you just gotta give the Duchess time for her speed to build up once you open the tap. Speed to build up. I want to get Microsoft Train Simulator, but don't know how. Come on, Duchess. Her motor may need sorting too. I'll probably take the Duchess along to the model shop as well. The Duchess. Favorite model? I'm not sure. Favorite model I currently own? Probably Tornado. Though it's probably a tie between Tornado and my 225. Speaking of HSTs, I'm gonna I'm gonna ask for one for my birthday. Oh, stupid thing. Let's see if Britannia can give the Duchess a hand. Hang on, she's picking up speed now. You just gotta give her a moment to run in. There we go. He's running at a better speed now. Oh, but she's still stalling here. Let's see if Britannia can help her out. Oh, wait. I can't do that, because Britannia will just run in the opposite direction. Yeah. Yeah. The Duchess seems to run in the opposite direction to which way the controllers switched to. Would you... Kai's Railway Room. Have you been here before, Kai? If not, then welcome to the stream and welcome to my channel. Please subscribe if you haven't already, Kai. Come. I want to say go right back. Alright, Pokemon. By far the best train simulator. Have you been here before, Kai? If not, then welcome to my channel. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Still there, Stan. There we go. Duchess is running a bit better now. I have not been before. And I am subscribed. Thanks, Kai. Welcome. It's nice to see you. It's always nice to get new faces here. It's always nice to get new faces here. Just having a look at your channel at the moment, Kai, and you seem to have a new channel. Tow the brake van? Cool. There we go. Duchess is running a bit better now. As I said, you just gotta give her time to run in. Duchess. I've said this before, but I'll say it again. An LMS Duchess looks surprisingly good pulling LNE Artiques. I don't know why, it just does, though obviously it would look better pulling LMS coaches. LMS Stania coaches. I ought to get some LMS Scania coaches for Duchess. And my other two LMS engines, like my Ginty and my D1. Is Sawyer still there? Come on. Come on, Duchess. Go a bit faster. There we go. So yeah, after this, I'll give my 225 a few laps, and then I'll probably put my class 35 on. Oh, jerking a bit. Is Kai still there? Donald Douglas and Harm on the railway, nice. Couldn't I voice Donald and Douglas? I do a really good Scottish accent. Yeah, my Scottish accent for Jack was terrible when I first voiced him in season 1 of Great Cliff Railway Tales. It's a lot better now. And James did a good Scottish accent for Jack when he voiced him in season 3. I'm very Scottish. Sorry. That was not necessary. Dragon fruit Sprite. Oh dear. Got quite the layout too. Down for Lord Stinker. It's no garbage today. Is this a good voice for him? Quite the layout too, thanks Kai. Stan thinks it's a bit amateur, but no, I think it's good. Yeah, got some buildings, got a station, goods yard. Though I will admit, the layout could be a bit tidier. And eventually I will put this whole layout onto a baseboard and improve it to make it bigger. I still think this is a good voice. Ten people watching, cool. She seems to get a bit faster the longer you run her. Track plan really needs an upgrade, I guess. I'll upgrade it once I get it on a baseboard, eventually. Yeah. Duchess seems to be going at a decent speed now. Just gotta run her in. The Duchess. 12 people now. Cool. Hold on, derailment. Sounds like it knocked again. Knocked against one of the walls. Derailment. Hold on. Down for voicing Duncan. Ah, thank you, lad. Really good Scottish accent. What's going on there? Oh, shit. No. Everything. That shit. That's better. With the Mr. Man. Mr. Bump. Mr. Bump, who has a huge bum. I don't know why I said that. She called Mr. Uppity. Sorry. Come on. Vast majority of Mr. Men, including Mr. Grumpy. Nice. Are you still there, Stan? Cool. Oh, you are still. Right as I asked if you're still there, you type a message. Want to start N-gauge modelling? Your mind's drawing a blank. Let's see. Want to start N-gauge modelling? Oh, this stupid tunnel. Keeps knocking against the chair legs. Voice Mr. Noisy too? Right. Yeah, as I was about to say, I get the appeal of N-gauge modelling, but it's not really for me. It's just too small for me. 00 gauge is the smallest I do, though I do eventually want to upgrade to O gauge. I know that, Stan, but for me, you know my philosophy, Stan, the bigger the better, and I do eventually want to upgrade to O gauge. Do a lot with space? I get that, but as I said, I'd rather upgrade to O gauge eventually. No, it's not, Stan. Not if you've got a lot of space, especially if you've got a big garden. Yeah, I'll definitely eventually build a garden railway that's either O gauge or G scale. Or gauge 1, though gauge 1 is mega expensive. Hey Jacob, nice to see you. Dorothea is her excellent, I see. Makes sense why that's your favourite. Voice John Alton Gagan? Nice. But yes, either way, I would like to do an O-gauge layout eventually. And I think I will once Raptor Dogs goes into production. Because as you guys know, I plan on using O-gauge for all the trains in Raptor Dogs. Station Officer Uppity. Yes, he did have the same voice, didn't he? It's fine, Jacob, I know. Duchess is going well now. Seems the longer you run her, the faster she goes. Gotta love how this one has working lights too. We'll give Duchess a few more laps and then I'll put the 225 on. Mr. Men meeting Fireman Sam. Come on. There we are. Oh. To get to the audience. Oh. Why did I say SpongeBob Krusty Krab pizza? Krusty Krab penis. Sorry. Krusty Krab penis. Auxiliary Fireman Greedy, Firefighter Sunshine. Fireman Model. Normal Small. Still there, Stan? Is Sawyer still there? And Pokemon, oh, I don't know. Mr. Uppity, Mr. Downity, Mr. Leftity, Mr. Rightity. She called Mr. Uppity a friend. Happy is there next door. Oh, JCB's here. Fast track 8330. What number are you referring to, Sawyer? Oh, don't you? Must have been YouTube poop. Yes. MP Carlson's one. I might have to. I might eventually do another YouTube poop reaction stream and include that Mr. Men YouTube poop in there. JCB Rocks Tractor. Backhoe loaders? Yeah, that's why you've got JCB in your name. Mr. Man. Mr. Tickler's Contortion. Which is, according to NB Castle himself, supposed to be a play on words for Testicular torsion. Mm. Nice. Blue one was made by another company? Cool. Yeah, you mentioning Mr. and James has made me think of that YouTube poop. Men. Midget men. Mr. Piss. If you click here, you'll die, then the whole thing explodes. You gotta love how he superimposed the explosion into the... Call me galloping sausage, said Mr. Chickle angrily. I remember that one. IET shouldn't have replaced HSTs on the Great Western Main Line. Should have been in conjunction with HSTs. I agree. I reckon the HSTs still have another 15 to 20 years left in them. I think they were too... I think this country's been too hasty in getting rid of the HSTs. I reckon they should have stayed on a lot long... Stay on for another 15 to 20 years. That scene we saw in the YouTube poop. Which one, Jacob? I think the HST should carry on for another 15 to 20 years. And even when they do get replaced, the HST, and even when the time does properly come to replace them, I don't think the IETs should replace them. The IETs are factually inferior trains. I think the HST replacement should be trains that look like HSTs, with the same power cars and everything, only powered by either hydrogen or biofuel, have better disabled access for the coaches, better safety and crashworthiness standards, and coaches that look similar to the Mark IIIs, the refurbished ones. Either those or make them compatible with already existing coaches. Mark IIIs, Mark IVs, or Mark Vs. What do you think of that idea, Sawyer? Mother's Day? Yeah, there's Mother's Day. The Mr. Tickle one. What scene are you referring to, Jacob? Maybe I did show that YouTube poop in a previous live stream. Can't remember though. I probably did actually. Oh yeah. Gotta love how Mr. Tickle just says no and then fucks off. Mr. Piss. And it's decided to stop again. Oh, and it started. Playing with a penis, that is gay. Hi Matthew, nice to see you. Is that Blu-ray? Nice. Only in trouble. Love jokes is trouble. Lewis calling Mr. Lewis Halfinger. Free time next week? Awesome, Matthew. Having Wi-Fi issues? I have, but my Wi-Fi's okay now. My mum thinks it's something to do with it being Mother's Day and there's a lot of people sending each other. Yeah. Silent Sawyer still there. Ugh. Wi-Fi issues. Smelly Wi-Fi. And it's decided to stop again. Come on. There we are. Thought it had derailed again. Why is it suddenly stopping? Why is the damn thing suddenly stopping? Come on, go. There we are. Oh, fudging hell. Fudging. Fudging. Do you remember Bambi? We were talking about Bambi earlier. I haven't seen the original Bambi yet, though I will eventually. That would be so funny. Serves her right for... Serves her right for trying to scare him. Norman Price! You little twat! Do you I was watching a video about Norman Price and how much of a little shit he is earlier. In fact, I was watching a couple of those videos. Now we'll keep the Duchess going a bit longer, then we'll switch to the 225. The Duchess. Better than a CG incarnation? True. Go back. Am I the only one who's never seen a Black 5? As in, never seen a Black 5 in person? A real one? Well, I unfortunately can't relate, Sawyer. Bunny with a sheep. Norman Price. I unfortunately can't relate, Sawyer, because not only have I seen several Black 5s, but I've also ridden behind a couple. Your Yorkshire Moors Railway, nice. Fun character in the stop motion era, I agree. There's a difference between mischievous and being a dick, as James A. Williams said in his Fireman Sam video. Norman Price, stop motion Norman Price, is naughty but good-natured. CGI Norman Price is a dick. Closest you've seen is the Jubilee Bahamas. I vaguely remember... I do remember one time when I went through York, I remember seeing a steam rail tour when I went through York one time being pulled by a Jubilee class. I don't know if it was Bahamas though. Yeah, I know, Matthew. Not even a Model 1? Yeah, I remember seeing a rail tour at Penshurst Station. I remember seeing a rail tour at Penshurst Station being hauled by 2 Black 5s. I went there to see it. And I've also ridden behind the Keighley and Worth Valley Railway's Black 5. Both times I've been. When I went the first time with my dad in 2018, and when I went again last November with Neon. So yes, I have ridden behind the Black 5 a fair few times, so I'm afraid I can't relate to you, Sawyer. And I've even ridden behind a miniature Black 5 on the Eastbourne Miniature Railway, which, as you guys know, I was at yesterday. But yesterday they were running their miniature GWR 2800, not their Black 5. Real or Pesterian? Cool. Coins on the railway lines to control people in cash registers. Oh, God. The furthest north I've travelled by rail is Inverness. Yeah, I've been to Inverness on the train before. But I haven't done the Far North line yet, or the Kyle of Lochaush line. And the furthest west I've been is Bodmin. Yeah, I got the train from Plymouth down to Bodmin to do the Bodmin and Wentford Railway once, but I haven't been all the way to Penzance yet, though I must. You stayed in York last week? Cool. Been to York for a walk? Oh, Christ. So, and as I said to you guys before, me and my grandparents are planning a trip to Yorkshire for the end of June, where we'll definitely do the National Railway Museum, probably do the North Yorkshire Moors Railway, and we might do Flamingo Land. We're not sure yet. You've heard about Flambards? I have. Yeah, they've shut down, Jacob. Bards. Yeah, since we were just... I briefly mentioned Cornwall just now. Yes, I have done the Keighley and Worth Valley Railway twice. I just said that. Did it with my dad back in 2018, and then I did it again only last November with my friend Neon. Come on. Buddy Bambi the deer doing today? I wouldn't know. 15 people, nice. A haul of Thomas stuff at the charity shop? Nice. So you said it's a shoot hole. Oh, so when you said it's a shoot hole earlier, was that to say you think it's terrible, Sawyer? One of two rare buses and one of A-Class 119s. Nice. Simpsons game? Nah, I'm not interested in The Simpsons. As I was saying, Jacob. So filming scenes to drive cycles in 2009. Ethel James and Laros? Cool. But yeah, as I was saying, Jacob, unfortunately... Yeah, sorry, Matthew. I have heard about Flambard's theme park closing. Stroke of bad luck, though I included it in the Sir Callum's Cornish Adventure song, only for it to close just a few months after I released that song. As a result, that Redcliffe Railway Tales music video, as a result of Flambard's closure, has now aged like milk since I mentioned it in the song. Yeah, that song has literally aged like milk now. Seems to keep derailing. Found a mint box of Ertles at local charity shop. Cool. Mario Kart Double Dash? Oh yeah! I forgot there was some Mario Kart games I could play on my, I forgot about Mario Kart Double Dash. Yeah, maybe I will do a gameplay of that eventually on my GameCube. Still like the Mario Kart games. Knapford in Trains? Nice. But yes, guys, I am disappointed at how poorly the Sir Callum's Cornish Adventure song has aged, thanks to Flambard's closure. Just a few months after I released that song, literally just 2 months after I released it, they announced it would be closing. Talk about aging like milk. And another thing that's aged like milk is the ending to the Come Outside YouTube. I'm coming outside. Why? Because Auntie Mabel died at the end of it and Linda Barron died. Imagine Sir Callum's disappointment. He'd be extremely disappointed. Class 37 on a broken route somewhere? A broken route? What's broken about it? A broken? A broken? What's broken? Hang on, I think coaches are knocking against something. Would you like to do it? Sit. My next bonus stream, could I play Mario Kart 8? Possibly. We'll see though. Held a funeral for Flambards? That would be sweet. Yeah, I know, James. That's another thing that aged like milk. What else can I think of that's aged like milk? Oh, one thing I do know, as I can think of that's aged like milk, as the Fireman Sam episode Danger Falling Sheep. Specifically the line where Norman says, "Mum will be so proud of me when I go to the when I reach the top and the Queen makes me Sir Norman Price." Yeah, Norman mentioned the Queen, who has of course passed away. So yeah, that particular Fireman Sam episode is now gated as well. Bambi for PS2. There's a Bambi game on PS2? Seriously? Those are the model. Is this the way to Amarillo for comic relief? Why has that aged like milk, Jacob? Oh, where Lois is like a stripper model? No, I haven't seen that episode, Matthew. Aged like milk. What else can I think of that's aged like milk? Favourite songs? Yes! With the Jimmy Savile. Max cosplaying as Jimmy Savile. That makes me facepalm. HSTs on heritage railways? I mean, it's good that they're being preserved. It's great they're being preserved, but HSTs running at only a fraction of their speed is a little saddening. I'd much rather ride a preserved HST on a rail tour where it goes 125. Oops. Sawyer, do the HSTs run at 125 miles an hour when they do rail tours on the main line? Welcome, Neon. Lois is smoking. Shock that happened on the tweenies. Even at that time, dunno, maybe. Here's my bunny, nice. Even at that time, even at the time that Tweenies episode was made, Jimmy Savile was starting to seem a bit sus. So, I really don't know. Oh, noise he made. Oh. I can't get over the noise Jimmy used to make, like sounding like Tarzan. Trevor liking children? Yes. The Midland Pullman might? That's good enough for me. I'd certainly ride the Midland Pullman in that case. But as I said in my HST live stream, the last time I was on an HST was a Scottish one between Aberdeen and Edinburgh. But a train I wasn't even supposed to be on, but I was forced to go on because the Caledonian Sleeper had been cancelled from Aberdeen and was starting at Edinburgh. So me and my dad had to get a train down to Edinburgh to pick up the sleeper. So we... But on the plus side, I was able to travel on an HST again. Tweenies. Time to come and play. Time to come in the tweenies. Oh no. It's time to come in my ass. Sorry. Why do I have such a juvenile sense of humour? Why do I keep saying inappropriate stuff? Guess I'll switch engines now. Yes, I'll switch to the HST now. Shut off power. Ugh. Sorry, no, not the HST, the 225. Ask you a question for what? I don't know what the HS reviews are coming in 2025. Izzy Gomez hasn't aged well either. Hey, you guys, I need a tone. Still there, Jacob. I'll come back. Didn't age well, that Peter Kay thing. Hey, you guys, I need a tone. Gringos, who needs them? Sorry. Gringos, who needs them? Ow. Shit. James Woods? No, I haven't. Come on! And it's derailed. What are you doing today? Come on. Your mother. Right, let's get the 225 out. There we go. Good God, he's naked. Rose Railway. You earthworm, Ro. I'm not naked, actually. I'm just topless. I'm always the reason I'm always topless in these streams is because of how hot it gets in my room. Yeah, it often gets really hot in my room. Which is why I'm often shirtless in my room. So how are you, Ro? There are miners here. Oh, God. That's fine. How is this any different from seeing shirtless people at the beach? What the hell? Oh, and Caledonian Pug's here too. Hello, both of you, either way. Is Neon still there? It's into your arse, though. I feel touched inappropriately. The clocks went forward? Yeah, I did. I'll put one. All right, I'll put one on in a moment. Kobo. Do 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 do. Wait, that wasn't Boko's theme. That was the City of Truro. That was the City of Truro. Ditty. Boko's one goes da 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 da. Though to be fair, it is easy to confuse the City of Truro one and Boko's one. Got his grippers out? I don't know. This has never been an issue before now. No, it hasn't. Right, let's get the 225 going. 225. Aha. Metropolitan Vickers Diesel Electric Type 2. Da 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 da. Come on, stupid thing. Need to go? Spanking Bell Movies? I don't know what that is. Did he? Yeah. Yeah, Stan said the same thing. The reason I'm running them on the reason I've got my layout on the floor is because I don't have enough tabletop space to put a layout. Just want as big of a layout as possible. That's why. It's roast. Neon still there? Alright. If Ro and Caledonian Pug want me to put a shirt on, I'll kindly abide by their wishes. Even if it means I roast myself. There we go. You both happy now? Ding a bell. I know. Joanne's train's on the floor. Oh, you still think I'm a registered sex offender, bro? I thought you were past that. This is like just like the normal temperature for my house. Right. 225's going again. Nah. These Mark IV coaches are really long. They tend to knock against this corner. Come on, Night Class 91, you can do it. Mr. Krabs hits a new car. Come on, go. These rails need a clean. There we are. Uh-oh. Come on. Go. Damn thing. There we go, I just need to press the thing together. Press the power rails together. That's better. Hold on. I think part of the reason the current's going a bit dodgy is because of the specific power rail I'm using. I might need to replace it. Clearly not a registered sex offender, I'm not. Is Caledonian Pug still there? Cats don't dance character. What are you on about, Ro? Just stop roasting everyone for the sake of it. Guess what it means? That's a great story. This Hawaiian is absolutely incredible. How do you make this? Somebody left a 40-foot tall pineapple lying around. Patrick, I swear to God. Is cat. Break by break, suck my dick. I'm just watching the beat right now. What's the now reference? Oh, it's supposed to be a penis. Jane just so image. I just love immature stuff. Teacher, Twilight Sparkle, nice. Hi Electro, nice to see you. Neon was here a moment ago, but he's disappeared again. Cats Don't Dance is peak cinema. Well, I've never heard of it. So I was running the Duchess a bit earlier on Electro, but now I'm running my Intercity 225. Fitting you arrive. Trying and failing to study, but you'll get back into it? No, that's fine. Fitting the, I'm running the Intercity 225 at the moment, as those are the trains that will be running on the Skyride main line. While you're here, Electro, what would you like next Saturday's roleplay to be? The what main line? I'll explain in a second, Sawyer. What would you like next week's roleplay to be? Another one where the Skyride main line is built, or shall we do that one where Calascotnia's water supply gets poisoned? So what I'm talking about, Sawyer, is Electro's got his own fantasy world called Skyride Kingdom, which is a world full of dragons. And at the moment, Skyride Kingdom is building its own main line to the northern territories known as Calascotnia, and trains that look similar to the Intercity 225s are going to be running on it. That's what I'm talking about, Sawyer. Skyride Kingdom, the Skyride main line. Let's see, this is a good feature school word. SpongeBob, what the frick? Welcome back, Matthew. So yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Sawyer. So Electro's got his own fantasy world, Sawyer. Run Class 47s instead? Well, Calascotnia's railway network do own some Class 47s, but Intercity 225s are just better. The Intercity 225s are some of my favourite modern trains. So yeah, Electro, which RP would you like to do next Saturday? Trip to Alton Towers was great. I do not agree with this statement. Yeah, that's fine, Sawyer. I get why Class 47s are so beloved. But I've always loved the Intercity 225s, hence why I own one. I got this one for Christmas. Oh, what are your favourite modern trains then, Sawyer? Still there, Electro? Come on. Stupid. Stop jerking. I am going to explode in 6 seconds. Your HST or Class 37? Ah, yeah, Class 37s are good too. I understand why people prefer HSTs. I like HSTs and Intercity 225s equally. The Intercity 225s and HSTs are both my favourites. I like them both equally. Let's go Class 50 today instead of Class 66. Your mate made a good decision, train guy. That's Bob. And a Cura scale Class 50 today. Instead of a class. Wanna go jelly fishing? No. Want some playtime? No, honestly. Yeah, the Class 50s are better than the Class 66s. I like the Class 66s, but like the austerities, they've become much too common. I personally prefer the Class 60s over Class 66s. Are Caledonian Pug and Rose both still there? Oh, shit. Small layout and nothing's wrong with it? Like no modern freight wagons. So plentiful because they're so good. And I agree, they are good. I just wish there was a bit more variety when it comes to freight locomotives. And there is, I just wish there were, you know, other freight locomotives were more numerous. Like I wish we had more Class 60s and 67s. This guy just activated a QuickTime event. Mr. Krabs, hit the triangle right now. What? Oh yeah, the Class 69s are good too. I like how they're being rebuilt from 56s. Class 56s and 69s are good too, as are the Class 57s. I'm pretty sure the Night Riviera down to Penzance is literally the only slam door train still running in this country. Is that right? As all the Mark IIIs have had, most of the Mark IIIs have had their slam doors replaced with automatic doors. Not biggest fan of 56s? That's fair. dry are. Fan of the Class 70s? Yeah, they're good too. Quite like the Class 59s. Too much of a serial, but they do put out a high attractive effort. So if the 59s put out a high attractive effort, why don't we have more of those instead of the 66s? Welcome back, Neon. Electro was here a moment ago, but he seems to have disappeared. I personally think the Class 93s should go into passenger use. I do like the look of the Class 93s. They need to go into passenger use. The Class 93s would look so good pulling Mark 5s. It's very futuristic. It looks great though. Towed by a derailed Class 158. Interesting. Yeah, I think the Class 93 should start being used on passenger trains with Mark 5s. Pull the derailed Javelin. I remember that derailed Javelin. Crash at Salisbury. Nice. Squidward, I'm in your house watching TV. Get out of my house! Yes. Yes, I'd love to see... Oh, and we've had a derailment, it looks like. I still think TransPennine Express withdrawing their Class 68 Mark 5 sets was a very, very dumb decision. Stupid they left it there so long, indeed. Oh, and it's fainted again. Oh, now it's left the coaches behind! Hey, slow down! No, Class 91, you've got to take your train. Loco haul trains still have a place in this world. Loco haul trains have advantages over multiple units, like maintenance, for example. An entire multiple unit has to be taken out of service if just one coach on it is defective, whereas loco haul trains can just have their coaches swapped out if a coach needs repairs. Plus, I just think loco haul trains are much better suited for intercity services. Yeah, in my eyes, loco haul trains are ideal for intercity services, and multiple units are best for regional and commuter services. That's what I think. College tomorrow, final week of college tomorrow. Oh, nice, Matthew. See you next week. Smoke machine in action. Use with the locomotive models. That's what I used for Redcliffe Railway Tales Season 3 and the finale, James. So who agrees that Class 93 should start working with the Mark 5s? Mark 5s are just perfect. They're so underused. I honestly would have preferred to see Greater Anglia's Mark III sets get replaced by Mark V sets instead of instead of the 745s. Yeah, Class 92 hold Mark V sets, in my opinion, would have been a better replacement. Wait, the Class 92s can't go 110, unlike the Class 90s. Either way, though, I still think the Mark Vs would have been a better replacement for Greater Anglia's Mark III sets. I do think the Class 745s are good, but they're not as good as the Mark IIIs. Mark Vs would have been a better replacement. Bit easier with local old services for maintenance, yes. Do you think the Class 93s would look good with Mark Vs? Blue Class 93s? Oh, those would have looked awesome. Oh my god, a Class 93 in Class 37 colours would look... In Class 37, blue and yellow would look incredible. The 745s are certainly a lot better than the IETs, but... I think the Mark Vs are a good replacement. I do have to admit, Caledonian Sleepers Mark IIIs were starting to get a bit tired and a little bit uncomfortable. And when I went on the Caledonian Sleeper in August 2021, I did enjoy travelling on the Mark Vs. The Mark V beds were a lot more comfortable than the Mark III ones. The Caledonian Sleepers Mark V cabins feel much cozier too. Get on with it. Get on with it. Yeah, I do think. And as I said, I still think TransPennine Express made a dumb decision getting rid of their Mark V hold, their Class 68 hold Mark V sets. Rather than ironing out their kinks, they just tossed them aside. Rather than fixing the unreliability of the Mark V's and the noisiness of the Class 68s, they just cast them aside. Ridiculous, in my opinion. Bigus Dickus. That's a classic one. So the loco haul trains we still have left in this country are GWRs and ScotRail's HSTs. Yes, I do count the HSTs as loco hauled, as the Class 43s are locomotives. Welcome back, Electro. So the loco haul trains we still have in this country currently are the two HST sets that are still operating, the Class 91s that are still operating for LNER from King's Cross to Leeds and York, the Premier service that's running with Transport for Wales from Cardiff to Manchester and Holyhead, the Class 68 hauled Mark III Chiltern Railway sets, and there's also the two sleeper trains, Caledonian Sleeper and the Night Riviera. And there's none more than I can think of, really, off the top of my head. Yeah, what? Oh, wait, is the Bellman Pullman like a proper train service and not like a rail tour? Does the Bellman Pullman count as a proper service and not a rail tour train guy? Yeah, I'm not counting rail tours when I'm talking about this. Electro, I asked you a question earlier, so for next Saturday's roleplay, do you want to do another one of the construction of the Skyrite main line, or do you want to do the one where about the mystery of Palascomia's poisoned water supply? Either one I'm okay with. Half and half? Half proper train service, half rail tour? Sod it, I guess. We will call it a proper train service. Midland Pullman services, the Midland Pullman services, I definitely count as rail tours, though. Is Sawyer still there? Oh, you are still there, nice. So which one would you rather do, Electro? Oh, Neon, if you're still there, Electro's are here. So 2023, so the British leg of Vincent and Orient Express. I made... Moving like that can never be made again. What, Team America? I may do the first part on the railway, then go to Telescope so we can leave the IP with like an arcing story. Spend more time trying to find the culprits. Cool. Hey train crossing buddy, nice to see you. Because I wanted to do like a construction part of the construction where we blast out one of the tunnels. Yeah, you're referring to Team America, Neon. Some of the Belgian British Pullman coaches were part of the Brighton Bell. Nice. Earth dragons will drill holes into the mountains. Faced with protesters. Protesters opposing the railway's construction. That would be interesting. Drill holes into the mountains. So drill holes into the mountains, then use gunpowder to blast it out, like they did. Caledonia in crisis for another RP? Alright. Well, there would be a nice one. Looking at some of the prices for Belmont Corner, like lowest price is £535. Damn, definitely a birthday present. Do the screen upon entering. Don't they know I'm busy spoiling myself? So would the Earth Dragons drill holes into the mountains and then gunpowder blast them out? Sawyer and Train Guide still there? I'm enjoying talking to them. Oh, hi, Mark! May switch trains again in a moment. Oh, you are still there, Sawyer, nice. If I had an imaginary railway place, it would be a small country where the trains would probably be small steamers. Nice. I do have my own fictional country, Sawyer. It's called Yelland. It's supposed to be like in the Belmont, in the Bay of Biscay, bordering France and Spain, and it's my own country. Get out of my house! It's fine, Jacob, as I said. Vapor Coolum, nice. I was actually thinking about the Caledonia Crisis roleplay you proposed. You proposed to me, Electro, today. About how we meet the Caledonia characters at Edinglow Central Station, then travel on an HST train up to the Highlands to find out who poisoned their water supply. Which are the links trained by UK or air, maybe both? Nice. Visiting a friend? Nice. Also, Electro Neon, you'll be interested to hear this. I've come up with 2 more towns for Caledonia today. I've come up with names for 2 more Caledonian towns today. Cities. Oh, shite. Whoops. So, engine switch in a minute. Jebediah would love it? Nice. So, Electro Neon, I've come up with 2 more ideas for Caledonian towns. The first is called Abercoddy, an amalgamation of Aberdeen and Kirkcaldy. Yeah, I think it is time for an engine change now. Yeah, so an amalgamation of Aberdeen and Kirkcaldy. So Abercoddy is the is the largest town in the northern Highland area in the northern Highland region of Calyscotnia. Right on the roof of the train, he's too big? Yeah. Like on the miniature trains, yeah. Probably did. But he was able to sit down actually in the train on previous Calyscotnia RPs. So Abercrombie is one. So Abercrombie is basically the largest town in the northern Highlands of Calyscotnia. And just outside it is one of the major sources of Calyscotnia's water supply. And I've also come up with another idea so Abercrombie is on the northeast coast of Calyscotnia, and then we have Duncantown, which is on the northwest coast. Yeah, I thought I'd name one Duncantown, because the name Duncan is typically associated with Scotland. Obviously, we've got the Thomas character Duncan, who's Scottish, but we also have Duncan Bannatyne, who's a famous Scottish entrepreneur, best known for appearing on Dragon's Den. So yeah, I figured I'd also name a city called Duncantown. Aberdeen. We already have Edinburgh. Edinburgh and Glasgow, Scotland's two biggest cities amalgamated together. Glad you tag along, nice. Carrie Shell voice Henry, nice. Yeah, we'll probably split heads in a moment. So yeah, those are the two new names I've come up with. Yogan Wick, John O'Groatson Wick, Yong Wick, John Wick. I might include that actually. John Wick. John O'Groatson Wick. That's a perfect idea, Neon. I'll probably have that be on the most northern part of Calyscotnia. The most northern coast of the whole continent. Engine stream. Engine steam. Steam engine. Hey guys, you want to see something cursed? You want to see something cursed? A B-12 pulling Mark IVs and a DVT. And it left it behind. This is so cursed. B-12 pulling Mark IVs and a DVT. So cursed. And it left them behind. I would like to talk more about the RP after the stream. Nice. Show us something cursed. That's not what I'm doing. Hang out with Squid and Patrick, go jellyfishing. Alright, bye Spyro, thanks for coming. Oh, are you going now, Neon? Where are you off to? Wexglow? Amalgamation of Wexford and Wicklow, so Irish names. Yeah, Wexlow. That could be a major station on the Skywrite main line. Drink at Look at Art. What's wrong with staying here, Neon? What's wrong with us? Oh, here's... Stand still there. Here's something even more cursed. Dean Goods pulling Mark IVs. My Dean Goods is quite weak though, so I doubt I'll be able to pull this. That just looks so wrong. 060 freight engine pulling modern passenger coaches and a DVT. Like, imagine if driver controlled. It can't even pull them. It's just slipping like I thought it would. Imagine a driver controlling a steam locomotive, pushing a train from a modern DVT, not like the Great Western Auto coaches, like a modern Mark IV driving van trailer and Mark IV coaches being controlled, being pushed by a steam engine. What the? So cursed. Questionable mindset. Fireman Sam is there on time. Yeah, so Wexlow could be a good one. Let's give my Britannia another run. What used to be Stan's Britannia. Oh, right. What used to be Stan's Britannia? What used to be Stan's Britannia? What used to be Steam engine pulling Mark IVs in a DVT just looks so wrong, but I don't care. It's funny. This is probably what would have happened if steam had continued into the 21st century. With a BR Standard Series engine pulling modern automatic door Mark IVs. Honestly though, this is probably what our railways would be like today if steam was still in use. An efficient and much more advanced steam locomotive pulling modern automatic door coaches. Hang on a sec. If we take the DVT away, if we take the driving van trailer away, the Britannia honestly doesn't look too bad at all with Mark IVs. Kill tip is another idea? Nice. Yeah, honestly, the Britannia doesn't look too bad with Mark IVs. They were built only about 30 years apart, the Mark IVs and the Britannias. Honestly, an efficient steam locomotive pulling automatic door Mark IVs. A BR Standard class locomotive pulling Mark IVs. Honestly, doesn't look too bad. Genuinely, I can see something like this being a thing had steam continued into the 21st century. Obviously, it would look better if it wasn't all rusty like that. So who agrees? Tiverine Canelli, Kill Tip, Furlone. So what does everyone think of this? What does Sawyer and Train Guy think of this idea? A BR standard pulling Mark IVs. I mean, steam engines don't even look that out of place pulling Mark IIs or even Mark IIIs. So Britannia pulling Mark IVs, both of which were commissioned for construction by British Rail, doesn't look too bad. Plausible in the future? Not too crazy? I'm glad you agree. Hang on. Not too crazy? I'm glad you agree. I don't know. Half the globe to find a Pingu King ride? Nice. Plausible. Plausible as an... Yeah, I can see this being a plausible thing in an alternate timeline. I can see something like this being a thing in an alternate timeline where steam was never abolished completely. Oh, as in when Mark IVs are really old? Oh, I see. It's still a little bit jarring, but not that far out of place. Bye, Spyro Kirby. Thanks for coming. Right, guys, we're going to go for another hour, then end. Anyway, let's switch back to coaches my Britannia is more suited to now. The LNER Teaks. Britannia looks great with Teaks, as the Britannia's worked in the eastern region on the Great Eastern Main Line out of Liverpool Street. And these are LNER coaches. dear. I haven't changed the camera angle or stream, so I think I'll do that now. Put it here. Smash Bros, Fire for Smash Bros. It's really good, nice. Oliver Cromwell, it's going to return to service later this year? Nice, welcome back, Time Lads. So it's still there? Girl being a bimbo. I remember that too. Still there, Electro? Rex Squidward's house, god damn it. Yes, he did. He did get that on camera. Dancing to Penguin ADHD. Still hilarious, that was. Up a door. Yeah, it's great that Oliver Cromwell will be back in Steam soon. I still remember hearing when Britannia was on his way to the shit, still derailed. The front pony truck's derailed. I still remember last year, can't remember if it was on my birthday or just before, I remember hearing Britannia, it was probably like the day before my birthday, Britannia was on his way to the Ribble Valley Railway. And my window was open and I was woken up by him passing outside my window. His chuffing was so loud it echoed around. And I could hear him passing on his way to the Ribble Valley Railway. And it wasn't until I researched it later that I realised it was Britannia. I knew a steam engine was passing, but I didn't realise that it was Britannia. If I'd known Britannia was coming, I would have gotten up early to see him passing. And without her, but how they doing, Bob the Builder? Nice. And the tender's derailed. Bugger. Now it's short-circuited. No, it hasn't. Hello and welcome to Standing Up School. And you fail. Hello and welcome to Standing Up School. Where's the lecture gone? Good night. Sorry, that was my mum. Leader of the Chungus. So not the leader of the track, the leader of the Chungus. Oh, bugger, not again. Stupid tender. Yeah. Steal the me and my friend's pilot. Squidward sees me. Nice. Leader of the bunch, you know him well. That's made me think of something, time lads. It refers to how the Great Discovery. It refers to how the Great Discovery was originally going to be called Leader of the Track. Everyone talks about how Edward didn't get a big enough role in the Great Discovery, but he didn't get a very big role in Edward wasn't seen at all in Thomas and the Magic Railway, but he didn't get a very big role at all in Great Discovery. Hang on, guys. I'm actually doing a bit more on the Calistonia Railway map at the moment. Really in real life. I'll be able to look at the Flurry Hearts. Flurry Hearts' birthday. For real life? Yes, for real life. Fudging hell. What? So the Germans should have had enough time to include Edward into the Magic Railroad, I agree. Duck Donald and Gomez, were they? No, unfortunately they were not, time lads. Only the main 7 were originally going to be in it, but then Edward had to be cut from the script. Claimed it was because they couldn't fit him in, but really it was because maybe that was the reason, but there was also another reason. His model wasn't ready for shipping to Canada in time. Duncan Town. Needs exercise? No. That's certainly not it. Right, now let's do what I wanted to do at the start of the stream and have the B12 and Britannia double head. Shit. Damn it. Probably went a bit too fast. It's Britannia's tender again. Doors. Cherry and blackcurrant ice cream tomorrow, season 2. Is that a Postman Pat reference, James, or a reference to something else? Shite, not again. Just an idea for a food product. Food product strip was in. Cool. Rain or shite. Rain on Allegheny Island. Shrek food products very notorious. You see. Control. The control center is good. Soya's train is back. Bye Rob, thanks for coming. Edward was with Fat Controller in Thomas and the Magic Railroad? Yeah, probably. That's probably the in-canon reason we don't see him. Most likely. Crafty Crab order a Krabby Patty? Yeah, maybe. Crabby crust. I would make this a triple header with the Duchess, but Duchess's directional is a bit buggered. And I can't use Tornado either, because he's got a broken coupling. Oh, and Train Guy's leaving now. Thanks for coming, Train Guy. See you next one. Oh yeah, Mr. Krabs. Sorry. And they're off again. How the fuck are ya? Really good, SpongeBob. Oh! No, that wasn't Sawyer. Sawyer's heading off too. Alright, bye Sawyer. Thanks for coming. We'll see you next time. Spyro's saying bye to Sawyer. Medium drink, medium fries. One order of sea fries, extra weird. SpongeBob! Please report to the office. Let's put it up to maximum now. Stop them from stalling. Have the speed on a bit lower. I am pleased to see this running session again. Yeah, we're still going electro. I'm glad you're taking a liking to these running sessions. I just updated the Calascotnian Railway map a bit more electro. I still haven't completed it yet, but I just updated it a bit more with the Western Main Line up to Duncantown. I now also need to draw the Eastern Line round to Abercrombie. Aberdeen. I love the running sessions, thanks train guy. If only Joe Light Railway was here though, he loves these running sessions too. Yeah, I need to... update the running session, the Calascotnian Railway map a bit further. Money to pay for... Oh, you mean the Krabby Patty. Mr. Krabs will be pleased to hear that, Spyro Kirby. Money, 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 money. Oh, no, 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 no. Stay on the track. This Friday stream, it's fine, train guy. I'm fucking dying! And then Electro, there's a line that goes even further north of Abercrombie, up to John Wick. The one that Neon suggested. I wanted the northernmost place. John O'Groats, the northernmost station, the northernmost part of Calascotnia, and the northernmost railway station where it terminates. I'm going to call that the Northern Lights line, the line from Abercrombie to John Wick. John O'Groats and Wick, perfect name for the terminus of the Northern Lights line. John Wick, that was an hilarious name on Neon's part. Map and Skywrite, nice. Didn't know you had one. Didn't have a penis. The Northern Lights line. The Northern Lights line gets its name from... The Northern Lights line will get its name from the Northern Lights train service running from King's Cross to Aberdeen, the direct London King's Cross to Aberdeen service, and also because John Wick, the village where the Northern Lights line terminates, is where the Skywrite continent's equivalent of the Northern Lights appears. Keep the change, you filthy animal. The Northern Lights. The Northern Lights line will The Northern Lights line will, is basically going to be based on the Far North line from Inverness to Wick and Thurso, and the Kyle of Lochaush line, which also runs out of Inverness. The two lines diverge at Dingwall. Wilma joke. Yeah, James. So what do you think of that, Electro? Yeah, cool, Spyro Kirby. The Northern Lights. The Northern Lights line is also one of the lines where Calliscopia still uses steam trains, steam engines. The Northern Lights. The Northern Lights. The lights. Still there, Electro? What do you think of my idea of John Wick being where the Northern Lights, where the Skyrite continent's Northern Lights are? It won't be harmful to his kingdom's environment. It won't be, especially as they'll mostly be running electric trains. Though some diesel and steam will also be used. But the Northern Lights line is an already existing line that's part of Calliscopnia's railway network. I was thinking of our characters taking the Northern Lights line after they solved the mystery of who poisoned Calliscopnia's water supply, and then the roleplay ends with everyone watching the Northern Lights at the Skyrite continent's Northern Lights at John Wick. The northernmost point of the Skyrite. I still think that's a genius name Neon came up with. Cheeky reference to John Wick, and also references John O'Groats and Wick, two places in the farthest north of Scotland. Kingdom with the culprits? Yeah, that's fair. Wow. Oh. That's nice. And it stopped again. John Wick. Done. You know what? I'll take this opportunity to swap the Britannia and B12 out for the Class 35. Class 35 hasn't had a run in this stream yet, so we'll give the Class 35 a run, and then I'll probably end. It's getting a bit late now. Yeah, we'll run the class 35 for the last 25 minutes of this stream. Right. Northernmost point. Northernmost point. And the Northern Lights. So I imagine Electro will be persuaded to return to Scotland after he learns of the crime. Unpleasant memories. Security checkpoints around California. Oh yeah, Skyrite security. That's one of the policies of the railway they did discuss. Him and Nicholas did discuss. Sandra was raised fine, yeah. An arguably worse atrocity. What could be worse than poisoning an entire nation's water supply? What could be worse than that? What could be a worse way to potentially cause genocide than that? John Wick. Everyone thinks John O'Groats is the northernmost point of Scotland, but it's actually Dunnet Head that's the actual northernmost point. Dunnet Head. Dunnet Head is the most northerly point of mainland Scotland and the island of Great Britain. Oh no. This is attractive. Californian egg hatcheries? No. Don't you think that's a bit too much? Don't you think that's a bit too much, Electro? Poisoning the water supply is a big enough problem, I feel. hated Calisconians for daring to strike back against them. That is going way too far. North of the island. You do not need any land along the stretch up to the North Pole. Forget about it, that won't happen, that was a bit much, yeah. Yeah, it was. Just poisoning the water supply would be, poisoning the water supply is a good enough conflict to have, and a good enough reason for... and a good enough reason for a trip out into Caliscotnia's northern highlands. And out to the northernmost point of... and all the way out to the northernmost point of... the entire Skywrite continent. John Wick. More than one. A Jacobite. A Jacobite. A Jacobite. The steam train that our characters would take out from Abercrombie to John Wick. That name still makes me laugh. Genius name. Turn themselves in, wanting to put an end to it. Well, that's sweet. So, as I was saying, the steam train our characters take out from Abercrombie to John Wick would most likely be based on the Jacobite steam train, which is a steam service that regularly runs between Fort William and Mallaig, both of which are places in Scotland I've been to. Trying to let go of his doubts about Caliscotnia. Yeah, a trip on that steam train would be a good way to do that. Too far by burning the hatcheries. Nah, I'd rather he didn't have it in. Poisoning the water supply seems like a good enough conflict. The water supply. Brainwriter Sway Electro. What about the incredible scenery that Caliscotnia's highlands have? Like, the scenery in the southern part of Caliscotnia may be beautiful, but the northern part, the northern highlands, are even more beautiful. I really should have gone to Fort William on the sleeper train later in the year, because I didn't know the Jacobite didn't run in winter. It's the people. Well, Nicholas and all the other Caliscotnians and Electro's friends have repeatedly told him that just because a few evil terrorists kidnapped his son, that doesn't mean all Caliscotnians are against Skyrite Kingdom, because they're not against the kingdom. Not anymore, anyway. Yes, he is a great storyteller. He's a really good storyteller. He's come up with a lot of great ideas. And I came up with Caliscotnia as basically like an add-on to Skyrite Kingdom. Still part of the same continent, but Caliscotnia is still part of the same continent Skyrite Kingdom is in, but Caliscotnia is basically an extension of Skyrite Kingdom, so still part of the same landmass, but further north. So Skyrite and Caliscotnia are basically like the equivalent of England and Scotland, or in Electro's case, Ireland and Northern Ireland. But I prefer to see them as like the equivalent of England and Scotland. What they did in the revolution. The truth is, though, the Caliscotnians didn't want the revolution to be as bloody as it was. They wanted it to be a peaceful revolution, but Skyrite Kingdom fought back really hard. Still doesn't justify what the Caliscotnian nationalists did to Rexy, though. Skyrite is Ireland, not England. Oh. What I mean, though, is Skyrite Kingdom and Caliscotnia have a similar dynamic with each other that England and Scotland have. Not necessarily that tell me exactly how. Keen to find a leprechaun? Nice.
Plus got your issue to unprovoked attack.
Well, the revolution only got violent after... The revolution only got violent after... The revolution only got violent after Skywrite Kingdom fought back hard against, against Calascotnia. Calascotnia wanted a diplomatic and peaceful breakaway, but Skywrite Kingdom wouldn't allow it. Stone Bikini Bottom. Perhaps we can make the... Perhaps you can let go of your Perhaps Electro could let go of his resentment for Calascotnia after he learns the truth about the revolution. How Calascotnia never wanted the revolution to get so bloody. They always intended for it to be peaceful. Maybe that's when Electro lets go of his resentment, after he learns that. Jeddah. Yeah, Jeddah sounds much easier to pronounce, though I would still prefer to call you a unicorn Jacob. Well, yeah, they did, but they wanted it to be a peaceful revolt, which Skywrite started to crush. Any unicorn as a mother. Thought they were separatist traitors? Yeah, probably. Then, of course, they built the wall. They built the wall to separate the border. They built that wall to separate the border, which is basically the equivalent of Hadrian's Wall. They built the Karlwick border wall. And since then, the border has ding-donged back and forth a bit. Karlwick is technically in Skywrite, but it feels very Calascotnian, especially as Karlwick was on the Calascotnian side of the border after the revolution. But then, of course, the border, the location of the border ding-donged back and forth a bit. The official border nowadays is actually 3 miles north of Karlwick. Skywrite didn't build a wall, but Calascotnia did. Eliminate the threats? Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, dragons and creatures similar to the creatures that live in Calascotnia. Oh yeah, one other race that also lives in Calascotnia, mostly in the Northern Highlands, is various packs of large sentient wolves. Yeah, there's a lot of wolves that live in harmony with the dragons of Caliskotnia. Wolves and wolf dogs. Maybe they'll meet a wolf dog in the roleplay where we go to the Northern Highlands. No, they don't, Jacob. Nobody has anything against unicorns. Certainly no one in Skyrite, Caliskotnia does. Are onto something? No, they are not onto something at all. Caliskotnia does deserve to remain independent. Anyway, as I was saying, I was saying about the Jacobite steam train, wasn't I? I personally, despite the Jacobite officially being classed as a rail tour, it is technically the last regular steam service, the last regular steam-hauled train service in this country that runs over the national network. Yeah, the Jacobite is technically the last regular steam-hauled train service to run over the national British railway network. Bye, Spyro Kirby, thanks for coming. I know my B-17 can't run at the moment, but I'll get it out anyway, because it looks fairly similar to the engines that run the Jacobite. Like the Black 5s and B1s mainly run the Jacobite. Yeah, I can't run Everton, my B-17 at the moment. See, look, he's completely buggered at the moment. But I'll just have him on static here for now. Ah, shit. So the reason I see it as the reason I see the Jacobite as the last regular steam-hauled train service on the national network in this country... Hang on, let's catch up with the chat first. This is population according... Look like the embodiment of joy? Indeed. That is cute. Will not be happy upon his return to Caliskotnia? Maybe not. But hopefully, by the end of the roleplay, he'll have warmed up to Caliskotnia again. So I was saying about the Jacobite, so I consider it the last regular steam-hauled service in this country because, on the national network, because despite the Jacobite only running seasonally from April to October, and despite officially being classed as a rail tour, it does run... During the season it does run 7 days a week, up to twice a day in each direction, so... And because it runs seasonally, but on a daily basis, it is technically the last regular steam-hauled service to run over network rail tracks. All other steam-hauled rail tours in this country don't run over regular routes. They all run irregularly to irregular timetables. The Jacobite, though, does run to a regular timetable, so technically it counts as a regular steam-hauled service on the national network. Do you guys see where I'm coming from? Purity and innocence? Yeah. So there's 2 services a day. There's 2 services a day from Fort William to Mallaig and back again. So the Jacobite is run usually by either a K1 class locomotive or one of their Black Fives. So either the K1 Mogul or the Black Five. The B-17 kind of looks similar to the K1, though it does have an extra set of trailing wheels in front. Lord of the Isles is the only K1 preserved. It's one of the 2 engines that hauls the Jacobite. The Lancashire Fulster also pulls it. So the Jacobite, I think, is run by West Coast Rail. I've got a K1 in 00 scale. Awesome. Seems to have a reputation. Nice. All 18 Minecraft and McDonald's Mini toys. 6 toys from Happy Meal. Nice. Well, the main thing I'd like him to learn is that 99.9% of the population of Calascotnia have nothing against him or Skyride Kingdom. That's the main takeaway I'd like him to have. Yeah, after this stream, Electro, I'll send you a few videos of the Jacobite train running, so that you get a good idea of what Electro will be in for on the steam trip between Abercrombie and John Wick. Still love that name. The Jacobite. Elegant magical creatures? Yeah, I get that. The Jacobite. But yes, I'm definitely going back to Fort William on the Caledonian Sleeper one day so that I can ride the Jacobite. I kind of made a mistake going in February 2016. I should have waited till later in the year to go so I could do the Jacobite. But I still did the West Highland line on a normal ScotRail train, but that was on a Class 156. And while the Class 156s are of course good, they're nowhere near as exciting as a steam-hauled experience. Passing glitter. Regret and love that show our kind. That's adorable. The Jacobite. Jacobite. I need to think of a name for this steam-hauled train, though. Here's only about future creatures. Nice. That's lovely of you. Highland City of Inverso. Did you just come up with that name, Electro? If so, then that's cool. I'll add it to the map. You know what? That's where the western main line of Caliscotnia will terminate. Inverso. Inverness and Thurso. Yeah, that's where that's where the western main line will terminate. Wait, no, that's on the other side from... That's on the other side from... Abercoddy, so... Yeah. It would have to be on that side if Electro was going to stop there. John. Maybe the steam-hauled train stops at Inverso halfway for like a little rest break before continuing to John Wick. A Jacobite. Nevis Bell. Nevis Bell. Nevis Bell. It's Bell. Nevis Express. I think Caliscotnia holding a secret. Are we shooting Caliscotnia? Caliscotnia holding a secret? Not like a dark secret, but a nice secret. A secret that disproves Electro's fears about them. I think I might call the steam-hauled train, I think I might call the steam-hauled train, the Nevis Flyer, named after Ben Nevis, the highest peak in Scotland. And also because the real Jacobite passes Ben Nevis. The Nevis Flyer. That sound like a good name to you, Electro, for the steam service? The Nevis Flyer. sounded like a good name, guys? I will know more as I get into it. Cool. But does the Nevis Flyer sound like a good name for for the Steamhold service? Electro? The Nevis Special. The Nevis Special. Nevis Flyer. Flyer is a term dubbed for some trains. As in Ben Nevis. The Nevis Flyer. You know how the picnic flyer on the Redcliffe and Guinea Bridge Railway had its own steam train, steam service, the picnic flyer. Does the Nevis Flyer sound good to you? Suppose it does. Nice. And what does Jacob think? If he's still there, doesn't matter if he's what. I'll end this now anyway. I'll end this in a moment anyway. I'll speak to you about the RP more after the stream. Well, I guess I'll end it now in that case. Thank you all for coming, guys. It's been a fun one. Despite the technical difficulties we had and some of the trains constantly derailing, this was a fun stream. It's late now though, gonna get to sleep soon, so good night everyone. Thank you all so much for coming. Hope you all enjoyed this stream, because I did. Please like, comment, share this stream with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to me, TrainLover16, if you haven't already, to stay tuned for my upcoming content. Also, go follow me on Instagram and Blue Sky. Goodbye, everyone. Join my Discord server. Go and buy my novel, The Spy and the Superdog, if you haven't already. And also, guys, please donate to the Raptor Dogs crowdfunding campaign if you haven't already. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye-bye, everyone. Thanks for coming. Goodbye.